Hello.
Hello.
Oh, it's finally working. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I probably this might not be a great idea. Me doing it at the university. I thought it would be a good idea, but it worked great earlier. This is the only new variable.
What, you think their Wi-Fi signal just might not be as good?
That's my only concern. I was plugged in when I was at home. I plugged into the Ethernet just so there's never any kind of concern.
Right. All right. Hold on. Let me see if. All right. What were you gonna say?
Just let's definitely give it a shot. And if this messes up again, how much data do you think this would waste if we did it on the phone? On my phone.
I don't know. Probably quite a. I don't know. People, if you're on a Wi-Fi signal, none at all. But if you're using the data, then probably quite a bit, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's why. That's obvious. Those are worried. Well, let's give it a shot. If this messes up, then at least we'll have something, and we can always pick it up where we left off. Sorry, I thought this would be a good idea.
I mean, it seems to be working now. So,
cool.
All right, let's welcome to episode 1 of Comic Books on TV podcast. My name is Ford. This is my brother Hunter. Hello,
Hunter. Hello, sir, brother. How are you?
So we're gonna do weekly reviews of Gotham, Arrow, Flash, all the comic book shows related to DC or Marvel. First up would be Gotham. Gotham aired its first episode of season 2 on Monday. We're going to go ahead and say spoilers. If you haven't seen the episode yet, try not to listen to this. So, Hunter, season 2 of Gotham, you're the one that convinced me to finish season 1. What did you think?
I thought it did a lot of things well. I thought it improved in a lot of ways. Man, I think that the whole scene, the whole show, it has this vibe that reminds me of Tim Burton. And I feel like we've moved past that so much in our Batman storytelling in film and in cartoons and anything, that sometimes some of the zaniness and some of the I don't know, some of the situations they put themselves in are a bit much. And so I'm hoping this season sticks with it better. The whole Gordon, major spoiler, the whole Gordon shooting that dude, basically, and that's murder. If you kill someone in commission of a crime,
I was not okay with that, but I'm not okay with half the shit this show does. At this point, I'm watching it as as I called it the other day on Twitter, the collection of misfit actors, the island of misfit actors. You have Inara, you have Ryan from the OC, you have the dude man from Terriers, which I loved, and
yes, I love Donald Logue.
Beyond those guys, I stress to find a reason to continue to watch it. The breakout star of season 1, Philip Taylor Lord, who plays Penguin, seems to be going even more in the direction that drove me up a wall in season 1. But that being said, they're at least picking a direction to go, at least according to the first episode, and where seems to be leading for the rest of season 2, which is a step up, even if it's not in the step up direction that I would prefer it to go. At least there's a cohesion to the show now. I am not familiar with this pair of villains that they're introducing. Apparently one of them has a whip or something, and the internet is calling her Tigress, who I guess I know who she is, but honestly, if you put Tigress and Vixen next to each other, and Cheetah, I'm not sure I could tell the three of them apart. So are you familiar with this villain?
Yeah, Tigress definitely didn't make a big impression on me ever. And no, I don't know the guy either. I thought they were going to use who I'm assuming is Black Mask's dad, the Sionis guy, as a character. I was surprised to see him taken out pretty quick there. I don't know. I agree with you. This show has not done amazing things yet, and I'm hoping. I mean, it seems like they've acknowledged that they went the wrong path. It seems like that they have made a point to say in interviews that they're going to doing things differently. And like you said, even if they're not doing everything that I wanted, they do seem to have the concept now and kind of a little bit more serialized story, where there's a reason to come
Hold
back
on,
next
man.
week, telling the story.
Were you getting that bad feedback, or was that on my end?
I didn't have any feedback, no.
Okay. Maybe I should move it. I don't know. It's staticking hella bad right now.
Did it just start?
Like a couple seconds ago. Can you like adjust your mic a second?
Yeah, here, I'll move it over.
Yeah, that's better. That's better. It was
Huh,
weird. Really staticky. Okay, so anyway, Sionis obviously not going to be introducing Proto Black Mask anytime soon.
Right.
Since he, as you just said, it was so quickly dispatched. I know that actor showed up in the background of
Everything just broke up.
Yeah, I was gonna say this was hella bad for a second. I wonder if that's the connection or not.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. You look alive again. For a minute, your face is garbled and then it froze, but that's all right.
Okay, so, God damn, every time there's a noise. I was trying to fix the mic. All right, anyway.
Here, maybe it's on my end. Let me try just my laptop mic. One sec. Can you hear me any differently now?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly you can tell you're not using the noise canceller mic, but there's no gargliness, so that's probably an upgrade.
On my end, it's all the same, so it's up to you.
Try plugging it back in.
You there?
Yeah. Okay. Does that work?
Does it sound any better to you?
Yeah. It's. I don't know why it keeps. I mean, I'll just try to talk through it. If it's not bothering you, maybe it's just like coming through on the mic or something.
Okay. Back to Roman, not Roman Sionis.
Yeah. No longer Proto Black Mask is in play. The other Proto villains. The guy who plays Riddler, Enigma, I guess, is. I can't tell if he's intentionally. Oh, see, there it goes again. This is. Hold on a second. Wonder if I can lower your mic. Here, try now.
Okay, talking.
Yeah, I just was playing with the levels for a second.
Am I coming in too loud?
I have no idea. I was just trying something to see if it made the thing stop.
Well, I hope it does.
So now that the status quo in Gotham is Penguin is already the king of Gotham, as he so loudly declared at the end of last season. Yes. Which was, oh God, that was so hacky. But on the other hand,
acting in general or that scene,
just him, everything about his performance kind of drives me up a wall. But that scene was, the way he said it was very. I guess you just can't have a character declare I am the king of something. Like that's just, I mean, maybe that's what bothered me about it. But on the other hand, nowadays, at least there is a status quo. And I guess we know that the Falcone
and Maroni.
Yes. We know that they have to come back into play, in like 18 years or something like that?
I haven't rewatched the last episode in a while. Did Maroni die?
He retired.
That was Falcone, right? Falcone retired.
Oh, no. Then Maroni died, yes.
Okay. See, that is weird to me. Well, I understand. It's one of the early like contentions on why the show would have a tough time because you can't kill people that you know are alive in 10 years. But don't we know that Maroni is alive at some point during the Bruce's time as Batman?
We know. I mean, you may remember Long Halloween better than me, or yeah, I think that was Long Halloween. Is that the specific Maroni, or is there? I mean,
well,
there's lots of Italians with mobsters.
The Falcone family was the main line. I think Maroni was in that also. Maroni was obviously in The Dark Knight. Maroni was in the animated series. I think Maroni's been around quite a bit. Wasn't it Boss Maroni that threw the acid in Two-Face's face in the original origin?
No. Yes. Okay. I guess my question is better. We know that someone with the last name Maroni is around during Batman's time.
Okay, I guess that's a good point. There's no reason.
But do we know that? I mean, he could have like a nephew or some shit. I mean, there's lots of Italian mobsters with There was Tony Soprano wasn't the first soprano.
No, but they say his name. Is his name Sal Maroni, or is that different?
I mean, hell, maybe there's two Salvatore. I mean, like
Junior.
Yeah, I mean, or maybe there's a big ass family and there's two Salvatores. Maybe Sal Jr., Big Sal, Little Sal.
All right, fair enough.
We obviously know like Selena is alive.
Yes.
But again, I was just curious if we were sure that these were the specific mobsters that are going to come back into play. I'm pretty sure that Falcone is.
I mean, you've just defined a very good escape, and that is that, hey, people got the same name sometimes. But it did appear that we were dealing with them. It appeared that we had the same kind of mob relations that, are that once he defeats them are the reason that Batman can retire in the Dark Knight series, because it's these guys at war for, a decade or more. I don't know. I'm okay. To be honest, even if it is him, all right, well, it's a new reality. We know if the New 52 can say that Tim Drake wasn't Robin, apparently, as I read. Don't know this. Didn't read the comics recently, but if they can retcon anything anytime they want, so I'm okay with if it is, but it is a little strange.
Well, speaking of new continuities, the idea of Thomas Wayne having like this nature of him investigating the company and trying to be a vigilante. I mean, the end of Flashpoint, in that reality, Flash gives Bruce a note that says, Thomas, like, if something bad happens to us, it's my fault. So they're definitely embracing the newer continuities. I mean, I guess as well as some old ones too. But I mean, that is the question, right? I mean, is this a show where Batman is going to exist, or is this a show where like this guy can become the Joker right now, or is this? I mean,
it sure seems that way. And that one, to be honest, that one bothers me a lot more than almost anyone else. Anyone else could become a villain first, and it really doesn't change a whole lot. But the Joker, I mean, his obsession is Batman. So much of what drives him and what makes him his focus is Batman. And I think in most of the modern, not modern, but when you think about the old movie, you think about the Red Hood version from The Killing Joke, and usually tie his origin to Batman. He's one of Batman's first villains, but not in a way that he was there first. And usually his origin is tied to Batman.
Which is why this kid has got to be a red herring. I mean, he even has red hair.
He does indeed.
Yeah, he has to be. I mean, I kind of think they're even going to go with like the Barbara, or I guess her last name's not Gordon, Barbara Keene.
Yeah.
I guess she has a little Joker in her too, as she was taking over Arkham with ease. Well, Gotham is the only show of the comic book shows on right now that reaches the Smallville level of making me angry and happy at the same time.
Yeah, I agree.
The rest of them have reached a level where their quality is can be just enjoyable or good or whatever you want to adjective them, whatever adjective you want to use. But Gotham, again, last night when Gordon killed that guy, I almost turned the television off.
No, what the shit, man? He's a cop, and not just a cop. He's a good guy. He's a good man. And when you kill someone in the commission of a crime, he just robbed those. Oh man.
I on the other hand, I really liked the idea of Bruce being this cold-hearted, like psycho, essentially, as at 13 or whatever he is, and being like, well, the ends justify the means, right? And which will lead her on to yeah, I can break this guy's leg as long as he tells me where so and so is.
No, and I was fine with Gordon listening to him and going to rob the guys. And then he beat the crap out of the guys. Fine with that too. And then he runs away, and they do the weird cam footage in front of him when he's running down the hallway.
Unnecessary.
That was so cool too. And then a guy shoots him twice, stops shooting, and says, "Hey, cop," or something. And then Gordon caps him. Not even shooting him while the guy was in the process of shooting at him. But the guy had shot twice and then stopped shooting to say something, and Gordon shoots him.
Oh, I thought he said, "I'm a cop." Like, I thought he was one of those policemen that was chasing him, so that Gordon killed a cop.
No, he killed the other mobster.
Okay, so that was the other mobster then. So they just, for some reason, had the boss chasing him out into the alleyway.
Yeah, the boss is the one that catches him, and then after shooting twice and missing, but having a clean angle, it looked like he stops shooting and says, "Yeah, cop," or something, and then Gordon shoots him. It seems to me that I can't believe that they're going to make Gordon just this terrible character, or they're going to make him, I don't know. I feel like that's just bad writing.
Well, yes, and also their Harvey and Gordon's like reunion where they're like have their heads together and are like hugging like they're bros. Like, didn't they spend all of last season just bitching at each other?
Of course. But you do get at the end of last season, it feels like Gordon kind of redeemed Harvey. But then he didn't seem to feel that way. He didn't seem to feel like, hey, it was all worth it and this and that. Harvey was still like, screw it, screw them.
I mean, no offense. I could never be like homies with somebody that like our first day on the job, he was like, all right, well, I got this dude in the trunk and you got to cap him. Like, I think to me, that was like, well, how can you ever, I mean, that's from the pilot, but.
Yeah, but you're right. That was that was a big move. It's tough to walk back and is a really over the line move. You can't do that and then be like, oh, well, they're still good guys. It's okay. Look, I love Batman. I want to love this show. And Bruce, I think, is great. And Robin Lord Taylor, I think, is not. But everyone else seems to like him. And so, whatever. Like you said, he's making decisions. He's chewing up the scenery. He's acting. And I'll tell you what, in Flash, Captain Cold, he's a little zany at times, but he's so good. He's so good. I don't understand why people like Robin Lord Taylor. I don't think he does a good job.
Yes, I actually think if you what is that guy's name? I'm blanking on it now.
Who?
The guy who plays Captain Cold.
Prison Break guy.
Yes,
that's his name.
He would make an awesome Penguin.
Dude, he's awesome. I just like watching that guy act. And I never even watched Prison Break. So I like watching him act very recently. But he's cool.
Yeah, and Wentworth Miller. That's his name.
That's it. Yes.
I guess that's enough for Gotham at this point.
No, let's give Gotham a little more because at least it has had a show on recently. And I feel like I want to bitch some more.
I was going to say, can we find something positive to say about Gotham's second?
Okay. First, let me give my last kind of critical bitching, and then let's find something positive. So I feel like I was listening to Fat Man on Batman at some point, and he talks about the Burton movies and how kind of it ends up in different ways almost becoming homages to the old show where everything's just zany. It looks kind of like after Jack Nicholson, from that point on, everyone watched his performance or watched the old Batman TV show and felt like, okay, so when you come to this character or this kind of movie, you're just zany. And Two-Face was terrible. Poison Ivy was terrible. And obviously Mr. Freeze, I barely even blame Arnold for that because his lines were so bad. And But since then, we've moved past that. Not just Batman, but comic books in general. That's not how it is, especially Batman. And last season, it seemed like very Burton-esque again with some of the craziness. And then you look at especially Fish Mooney. She walked on the set and immediately became like Eartha Kitt or some crap.
Yeah,
she was so over the top.
She was almost talking like a 19, like she was doing Cate Blanchett's voice from The Aviator. Her Hepburn voice.
Yeah. Her, Robin Lord Taylor, the Riddler guy, just so much of the crazy, like the Joker character, even his is too in your face and like it's just so not natural. All of their acting is so unnatural. And it even comes even Bullock, where I feel like all these lines he's saying, yeah, they could have been lines from comics I read, but Bullock hasn't. You just tell from the picture on a comic book page or from the animated series, the Bullock's not quite as just a dick all the time.
Yeah, which Donald Logue can play the nice guy. Real, I mean, I know he can do that as an actor. So, that must just be a writing choice. And this show, I guess, gets to use some of the later stories. Like, are you familiar with the Court of Owls?
Yeah.
It looked like they were hinting at that at the opening scene of last night. When I believe that guy, that was the Yellow King, right, from the first season of True Detective.
Yeah.
That was that guy, right?
New main villain.
Yeah,
wait, no, sorry, I thought you meant the new villain that kills Roman Sionis, or not Roman Sionis, the dad Sionis, whatever, is the villain from True Detective season 2.
Right. Yes.
You're asking was the crazy
Zardon,
or what was his name?
Zardon.
Yeah. Was he from season 1?
I believe he was the lawnmower guy that, like, he was the Yellow King from season.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Anyway, well, I actually liked that. I thought that was great. And today the producers came out and said that yes, they are going to do the Court of Owls. So
that's awesome. No, I thought that was cool too. I liked the new villain. You know what? To be nice about the show, although I think that the Jerome kid, when he laughs, it's a little too unnatural. It reminds me of the Cesar Romero, like all in your face, and like it doesn't seem natural. Even Jack Nicholson was fairly like a real person laughing. Other than that, I like the kid. I think the way he delivers his lines, kind of self-obsessed and weird as shit. I think it works. Barbara Keene, I don't know what is going on, and she was kind of weird, annoying a lot of last season. But
kind of
this crazy psycho chick.
She was downright like offensively bad in the first season. But at least they gave her something to do now. So
yeah, and she's acting, and she doesn't seem super over the top for no reason. And so I dig that. Like, she seems to be able to act and just say, "Hey, I'm gonna play a character here," and that's cool. Be crazy. I like it. Well,
her performance in the first season was like she was playing that character like super zanied out or something.
Yeah, she did seem super zanied out a lot, just kind of on drugs.
Yeah, I mean, and now she has a personality, so that's a plus. I was gonna say I really like the idea of this Gotham having a history to it. They're gonna mine the New 52 post Flashpoint stuff. I think another thing that they should mine is the Arkham stories from the games. And how like Arkham goes back. I mean, they did a little bit last year with how it goes back a couple hundred years, but like, in those games they alluded to like the main families of Gotham like finding ways to like stick all the poor people in Arkham at certain points. If that would be a really cool. I don't know if those stories were mined from other Batman stories or if they're from the games, but either way, I mean, so many people have played those games that you might as well tap into that ethos, if you will.
No, I feel that. I do like the Bruce Wayne actor a lot. I like Alfred too. I don't think it's quite perfect, but I like it a lot. I think Alfred's kind of badass, and I I like the way they depict him allowing Bruce just to kind of do what he wants to do, and Bruce won't. He's like, look, you want to go, but if you want to help me, you want to make sure I'm safe and help me learn to do what I'm gonna do. Let's do it. And Alfred's like, well, then at least do your right. And goddamn it, all right, fine. And then they blow up a huge door. That's all.
Yeah, I can't believe we spent a half hour talking about the show without mentioning the fact that that there was the. I think you know why I have a big giant bag of fertilizer, Alfred.
Yeah, that was great. And then when he blows it up, and he's like, Bruce, now I know you're ready because you figured out the code was Bruce. And he's like, whatever. I thought that was a great moment.
Yeah, my first instinct, if my parents had one, would be like, well, maybe I'm just narcissistic, but would be like, shit, I bet it's something to do with my name.
Well, that's why I assumed he was trying his own birthday, their birthday, his anniversary. I guess when I looked at the pad, I didn't notice that it had letters on it. I just saw numbers.
It would have been great if it was like bats or.
Well, like in there are old stories, and then Grant Morrison brought him back, where like his dad, wore a weird Batman costume once, and there was someone who had made an appearance before, and his dad's version was kind of what inspired Bruce in some way. Some weird costume with a big ears on the side, a big like Shazam style cape thing coming up. I don't know. I think that I'm cool with them doing the backstory stuff. I agree that making there have to be some reason why Joe Chill killed his parents, or why whoever it is killed his parents who didn't have dirty shoes, which they just never gone back to since. Like it was just a way to know that they killed the wrong dude. I've lost my train of thought, but I like Bruce. I like where they're going with it. And it's weird because you're right. We talked about it earlier. And the thing has always been Batman wasn't solving his parents' death. It wasn't just about trying to find some conspiracy. It was protecting other little kids who have to go through the same thing, other innocent victims from having to suffer like he suffered. Yeah,
it was the randomness of crime.
Yeah.
But you just pointed out something I wanted to harp on from season 1. A way to get me to watch a show is to cast not only the actors that I just mentioned from shows that I like, but just stack your show full of random people from The Wire. Because the dude who orchestrated the Wayne's deaths, like whatever his name is, that Selena like slips into his pocket from the end of the season, that was Brother Mazone.
That's awesome. And then you got Rawls. Yeah, no, I agree.
No,
put the guys to the wire really give me confidence.
The warden at Arkham was Clay Davis.
Yeah, yes, that was cool.
So I mean, that's like that's you can do worse with just casting.
Like you said about the actors you did mention, they're not just actors from cool stuff, but they were good actors in cool stuff. It's why it's so weird that so many of them are making such weird choices. And I guess one more thing, not from an acting standpoint, I do like Inara playing Leslie Tompkins. But Leslie Tompkins usually has a relationship with Bruce, formed with her helping Alfred and being around in his life. She's not just some hot chick that Gordon used to bang. So I wonder if they'll end up going that way, or if they've just decided that when telling this story, they'd rather have her bang Gordon than Alfred.
I mean, yeah, well, Gordon needs a love interest, and that was the moment the show turned for me, where I was like, okay, if Inara's going to be, just shining a light in every scene she's in, I'm down for this show. But so, I mean, she will certainly be around for season 2, as I guess they cast Marina Baccarin as a series regular. So
yeah.
She'll be in, I think, 20 of the 24 episodes or something like that.
That's cool. It's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I would say, okay, I think now we've said some good things about Gotham, and we've given it a little more about. And I hate to come off as just a hater. It's just I want it to be so good. And like you said, all the other comic shows are.
We should have led with the bomb thing, because I laughed out loud at that. That was great.
Yeah, it was. I totally agree. And I even like, the Catwoman dealing with those people and being part of the mob and all that kind of stuff. Not obviously, but you don't see them going the hooker route. So giving her a messed up background and stuff, I think that's pretty cool. And I like that actress. She's pretty charismatic and cool.
They can't make it. She's like 13.
Yeah. So I'm saying,
No, I mean,
Frank Miller could make her go into to be a runaway and then a prostitute or whatever, however he runs it. They're not going that way, obviously. So this, although sometimes like, oh, God damn it. And it looks like the preview for next week, Bruce is like, look, you're with me or against me. You're being a little too bitchy. And that's good.
Anyway. I am definitely intrigued by the way they're going. And something else that dropped on Monday afternoon, which is I'm more than intrigued by, is the trailer for CBS's Supergirl,
Yes.
which they have kind of leaked essentially the whole pilot over the summer, but a pilot's a pilot, and this trailer was a glimpse of multiple characters. I think there's Red Tornado, Reactron. This show, as much as I don't want to like it, it looks good.
Look, I don't not want to like it. I just kind of assume I won't. I assume it's not aimed at me.
But it is, though.
I hope it's
on this show.
You're right. But I hope that it does. I hope it's aimed at girls. I want it to not be aimed at me. I want it to not be aimed at us guys who've been reading comics since they were 10. I want my sisters to watch that show, or younger versions of them now they're in their 20s. I hope that chicks are like, yeah, I hope she's what Wonder Woman should be, an inspirational, cool hero for a show that girls and women can like. And then it also looks like I'm going to like it. So that's that doesn't seem to be a worry. It looks well done. I like some of the actors in it. The effects look legit. Red Tornado, I could go with a little bit less human-looking face. I feel like in the comics he's always kind of flat and he's got eyes in the mouth, but it's not like he's a human.
Yeah, he's a
slits, aren't they?
Yes, and you bring up something which I wanted to talk about now that they've revealed what he looks like. We're getting to the point where there's enough Marvel content and DC content on this big screen and small screen that the redundancies are starting to show. Like Jack Kirby worked for both outfits, and he created the Vision in one and Red Tornado in the other, and they look exactly alike. They're both red robots that are like inhabited by a human like psyche or whatever you want to describe it as. As you,
it's gonna all come to a head with Darkseid and Thanos.
Right. It was you were the
new gods. He creates Darkseid, and then a couple years later, Thanos comes out. Now it's gonna be interesting to see how DC matches what and how they live up to it, as Marvel's had 5 years to build Thanos as this insane baddie.
Yeah, I mean, they need to watch out for the redundancies. Green Arrow and Hawkeye is one thing. Both of them seem to have found their place somehow, and people accept it. But you can't go around having two red robots that have like the same origins or whatever.
Right.
And Thanos and Darkseid, like one is purple and one is like light blue.
Blue and gray is Darkseid, blue and light blue, or blue and gray, yeah.
Depending on how someone draws them. And I mean, there was a Deathstroke was on Arrow for season 2, hopefully returning in season 4. I like that actor a lot. And Deadpool comes out in February, and I believe Deadpool was like, hey, or one or the other was a ripoff of the other one.
Deadpool was let's rip him off and then make it so obvious that we name him Wade Wilson instead of Slade Wilson.
Right, they have the same name. Okay, yes.
But Deadpool's kind of meta, and he's kind of an ambush bug, like fourth wall breaking and that kind of stuff. So I don't think those two will be as like comparable as most, because he's such a different character. Although I do hope to hear Deathstroke one day say, I know what you're going to do before you do it. At least 12 times in a movie.
All they had to do was just give him that ability with the Mirakuru, and it would have been spectacular. I'm not going to insult anything about that Deathstroke storyline, though. That was fantastic all the way around.
I love Deathstroke. I love bringing in the girl from Terminator and Serenity.
Ravager.
I'm just zoning on her name. I loved bringing her in. I thought that was super cool. I thought him just being out like I'm just gonna murder people, but first he's gonna be sneaky and build his own thing with it. It was a good year. It's a good story. I mean, they still had some silly moments, but year 2 was awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, and in relation to the way Arrow did some of their stuff, Supergirl is going to attempt to exist in a world where Superman exists, but not the Superman in the movie, and exist in a world where the Flash exists, but not the one in the TV show and not the one in the movie. And at a certain point, we're going to have a crisis for film content.
I think that they can see that. I think seeing it referenced in the Flash, they've said the thing is we want to give the creators their control to run with it, tell the best story they can. And it is frustrating that we're not being able to see the kind of things we see in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where random Avenger related or Thor related character just pops up. Actors who are going to be in a story in the next movie, are actually on the show first, and the story builds. Got to go find the Avengers, or that guy from Captain America 2 who they end up saving in the opening scene. He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the week before Captain America 2 came out.
Cool. That guy who, that he was in
government agent.
Right. The reason I say that is Flash, is doing the multiverse. So why can't all of the DC properties exist in different universes, but
the same multiverse?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then eventually, we'll have Grant Gustin and whoever, Ezra Miller and Ted Grant, and there'll be 5 Flashes, vibrating through a giant computer.
That'd be awesome. Computer. Yeah, no, totally. That'd be awesome.
Isn't that how that goes?
Wally West this year.
Well, yeah, I mean, and we are getting Wally West, and we have Supergirl, and you know
what else we're getting? We're getting Dick.
Well, yeah, and Teen Titans. I have not heard the status of Teen Titans
Me either.
recently. It was supposed to be a mid-season replacement, yet there was no casting, and I gotta imagine it's been pushed to next fall.
It would seem so, which is disappointing because that I love Dick.
Yeah, I don't see a reason why Colton Haynes can't play Roy on Teen Titans.
Because you don't like Colton Haynes?
Well, I don't, but I think that would be awesome.
It would be awesome. And you know what? Those ones seem that they at least when describing them talk like they were definitely open and having those exist together. The TNT world, the Titans world, and the world of CBS, the Arrow and Flash. Yeah, I did hear that CBS had no interest in being associated with the other shows, or at least with being directly connected. But I at least heard rumors that Titans was open to that, and they were open to doing that with Titans. So that'd be cool. And Constantine is now going to be part of it. Yeah,
and I'm not sure if that's I imagine that they'll probably try to put that actor into Legends of Tomorrow. Right? I mean, he seems to fit that. We have some extra characters. Let's put them all on a show.
Dude, and he was good. He was so Constantine. He looked like him, had the vibe, kind of angry and dickish. He was good as Constantine. He reminded me of the Hellblazer comics. The show took a while to get going and then never got great, although it did have some cool moments.
It got canceled before it finished its run, so there was a less of an impetus to watch that on my end.
Yeah, I feel you. I wouldn't say, well, you should watch it just because it has Jim Corrigan and you see a shade of the Spectre, and I think you see Fate's helmet, maybe.
Whoa.
But it never goes anywhere. So it's just like I said, it's like like we talked about before, the Smallville fan service.
Yeah, I mean, and Dr. Fate is a character that I keep waiting for his name to pop up on the news feed at some point in some shape or form. He's another one where Marvel has their guy in a green cape and hood with a metal face, and DC's is yellow. So
Yeah, but Marvel has not yet been able to do that very as well. Sorry.
No, I have no comment on that.
We got like 15, 20 minutes left. So is there, I want to talk about actually Smallville just briefly. And then if there's anything else you want to finish up with, let me know.
I'm going to get some water. Hold on a second.
Yep, go for it.
Are you is there anybody at the library?
No, not at all. It's pretty empty here, but they'll probably announce some stuff over the loudspeaker in the next 15, 20 minutes saying it's closing, and then I'll actually have to leave the next half hour. So we should try to be done the next 20, 25 tops.
Yeah, I was going to say let's try to finish in 10 because we've already gone for like 40. So so quickly, you had we're going to go back.
Use record store and not really records very often. Well, there's records there. But anyway, I'm at Zia and looking at used records, used CDs, DVDs, and I see Smallville for like $12. Last season, never saw it, never made it past season 6 maybe. I don't know. I remember Green Arrow starting to show up and Arthur Curry showed up and they had a few little things. But I just, life got in the way. I didn't have a DVR maybe, and it just didn't seem that important or that good. But man, this last season is awesome. Yeah, the Justice Society. They just had Booster Gold and Blue Beetle on the last episode I watched. They have Zod trapped in the Phantom Zone, and then they've got, like I said, they're built up to Darkseid. They have Granny Goodness. They've got Desaad. They've got Godfrey. They're playing all these cool elements from the comics. Lois knows he's, Superman, but first she kind of starts figuring out, but lets him play the game that he's keeping her safe and doesn't tell him that she knows, kind of something. I don't know, a lot of cool concepts and a lot of awesome stuff with the comics, and the way the new gods or the devils are coming to Earth reminds me of Final Crisis when they're possessing human actual bodies. It's cool, man. It's cool.
I like most of the world tapped out on Smallville sometime after Kristen Kruk somehow got Superman powers too, and but that was obviously the seeds for the Arrow Flashverse. It certainly the gap. You think the gap is longer than it is because Smallville ran forever.
Yeah, no, it ran until what, 2010, 2011?
And Arrow was already on season 4, so there must have been they were testing the waters of well, what if we did it, really seriously from the comics, and
right.
That was the result of that was playing with the Justice Society and because it's all the same producer, and he's the man behind all these shows. Guggenheim, I believe, is his name.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. They've got, like I said, Hawkman, Dr. Fates, and then Stargirl. It's Black Canaries, Tana. It's been really cool.
Well, how do the wings on Hawkman look? Because obviously we're getting Hawkman and Hawkgirl next year.
When he was flying, the CGI in Smallville wasn't amazing.
Right.
But when he was fighting and doing some stuff and using them, it was awesome. And he ends up at some point falling out of the window with his wings on fire. And it looks awesome. They look pretty cool, and I can imagine they got a little better out of the last 5 years. So I think they're gonna be fine.
That is good to hear. Obviously, yeah, Smallville certainly didn't have the effects to get nominated for an Emmy like Flash did for the Grodd episode.
Yeah. Oh, and you said that Arrow got nominated for an Emmy for fight choreography or that?
No, that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Daredevil did. Arrow has not somehow been recognized for its stunt work. Considering there is no stunt work and it's all Stephen Amell, that should
just doing parkour like a badass.
Yeah, and Stephen Amell had a little social media gaffe the other day. And I hope that does not dissuade him from being so utterly funny online. He had a comment about the well, there's no reason to get political on this. So anyway, we'll be back every week with reviews of all of the shows, Arrow, Flash, start in next week.
2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks. Agents of Shield starts next week.
7. Yeah. So 2 weeks.
So we'll be back next week with review of Gotham season 2, episode 2, and Agents of Shield season 3, episode 1.
Yes. Correct.
And maybe we will find time to watch Heroes Reborn and talk about the revival or just the phenomenon of nothing being able to stay dead, because I do not see a need for this show because we now have all these other shows.
Yeah, I agree. I have love for Heroes because we didn't have anything else.
Absolutely.
Wasn't as good. Like Heroes was like, oh, no capes, no flying, and I go, shut up. And they just went for it, and that was awesome. So I'm gonna give it a shot. But you're right. I didn't need Heroes. I have. If it came down to Heroes or even Gotham, probably gonna watch Gotham. But hopefully.
Yeah, I Heroes got utterly insane by the end of it, and it had 3 stars. One of them turned out to be not so much of a star, and the other 2 are mega stars and have no interest in ever coming back to it. So,
yeah.
I mean, Hayden Panettiere is like, I'm the star. I've been on like 100 episodes of Nashville, and Sylar is Spock. So, yeah, I mean, the rest of them, Hero was like, I'm not doing anything. I'll come back.
I'm a little surprised Peter Petrelli didn't come back.
He seems to. That guy seems like the type of guy that has his nose up in the air.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I'm not going to go back to that, even though he just did a 4-episode arc on Gotham.
Which, to be fair, was some of Gotham's best stuff.
It was perfectly fine. I prefer his brother on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Adrian Pasdar plays the general on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. All right. Well, so next week we'll be back, and we're going to do a preview of the week, or are we going to just wait till next, Wednesday?
Well, we can do. I'd say, yeah, we should do a preview of Arrow and Flash when we come back next week, and reviews of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Gotham.
All right, sounds good. And we'll be together again next Tuesday night or Wednesday afternoon, something like that.
Yeah, like insert clever sign off here. So
sounds good.